So you have a company like Blizzard, and obviously they have a situation that happens. Let's talk about the situation that happens. And in the result, and in the wake of this situation, the players are the ones that are being punished. The players are the ones that have to sign a social contract whenever they log into World of Warcraft. I'm pretty sure that was supposed to be for your employees. What the fuck are we dealing with this? Most people don't act this way anyway. This has nothing to do with us. We're not the ones that had the sexual scandal. And the people in the game that were the bad ones that are actually causing this problem, we reported them. We already reported them. You just didn't ban them because you were too busy. Blizzard, the way that Blizzard approaches like representation and diversity and all of these other kinds of inclusion things, they look at them like this. It's like there's 4 guys in a car and there's 1 black guy in a car. And they are the person that changes the radio station to a hip-hop song and looks at the black guy thinking, hey, this one's for you. That is the way that they approach it. That cringe fucking bullshit. And it's just like, am I wrong? Like, that's the way it feels like every fucking time. You know, like the white savior syndrome. You get a little bit of that. They're like, oh, well, we're going to help you. We're going to save you by giving you this type of representation in like this weird way. It's insecurity. Yeah, exactly. Internalized guilt. Fear of canceling. Yeah, and I think that a lot of these people, this is my straight up opinion on it. I think that a lot of them just don't really interact with a lot of people that aren't of their same like gender or anything like that or race, and they don't know how to interact with those people without turning that person into just basically that gender or that race. Like, that's straight up what my opinion is. I think that these are people, they probably grew up in like, you know, safe suburbs, and, you know, like they would maybe listen to a little bit of rap music if they're feeling rebellious, but like they don't really know how to act around other people. They try to change their language or speak differently, etc. Yeah, they can only react to these people as if they're a stereotype. You think you might be pushing racist stereotypes? Am I pushing racist stereotypes? No, I'm not. Yeah, I'm absolutely not. I think that, the main way that I've always done things is I treat everybody the same. I'm respectful to people based off of, you know, like how they act to me. And that's the only thing that should matter. Ban a fucking idiot? Well, I think that anytime, see, this is what a lot of people do. And this is what the problem is like anytime that you say what I'm saying, you inadvertently give credibility to people that don't like diversity and inclusion because they don't like the people that are being diverse and included. But that's actually not what people are saying at all. I think that a lot of people don't want to be reduced down to a covenant. You know, they don't want to be reduced down to a World of Warcraft system to be turned into this. So we have this here, and Activision-Blizzard has released a new blog detailing their diversity space tool. A new system for character design developed by King and MIT Game Lab, which translates elements of diversity into character attributes. That's right. So basically, your DPS now is not determined by your skill as a player. It's not determined by your gear, but it's determined by, you know, like what your race is. Like, for example, like if you're a woman, that's a little bit extra DPS. If you're not white, that's like maybe 50 extra DPS. If there's some disability, maybe that's even more DPS. And so you're basically, Blizzard has created, because the players have been very unhappy about borrowed power in World of Warcraft. This has been an issue for many, many years. So Blizzard has finally taken borrowed power out of Warcraft, and they thought to themselves, well, what are we going to do with all of these systems designers? What are we going to do with all these guys that used to just make systems that fuck everything up and make it more annoying? Well, they put them under work with the HR department, and we came up with this. That's right. And so let's go back over and we're going to look at it, and we'll see exactly what's going on here. Oh boy. Here we go. First topic of the day. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. This is going to be it. I love how they're trying to avoid tokenism by using tokenism. Yep, let's go. Let's get into it. Holy shit. They basically came off as racist. Yeah, pretty much. And I want you guys to understand that this is happening at the very highest level as well. So I'll explain that once I get through the rest of this. This is, what's this here? This is white people marketing to other white people that they aren't racist. Something like that. Yeah, I would say so. And patting themselves on the back, patting each other on the back on how much they care about minorities. It's just really great. So let's see here. Working alongside DEI and experts, diversity-based tool is measurement device help identity. Actually, I'm gonna read the post that made by Blizzard. With innovative new system, the character design process now has a tangible way of avoiding tokenism, stereotypes, and exclusion. And the way they do that is they just literally have it on the chart. There you go. We want to see ourselves represented in games. We want the barriers to access lowered, and we want games to be a welcoming environment for all. Just look at 2019 Game Developers Association, which asked developers if they considered the most important factor of the growth of the gaming industry. The most common response, more diversity in content. It's not even a question anymore. Well, that's true. That's absolutely true. Yes, people want different content. Yes, I don't think that this is necessarily what they meant, but that's what it is. I hate to tell you this, but a bunch of game developers getting together and agreeing with each other about things really just doesn't mean a whole lot to me. Because the truth is, a lot of the really popular games nowadays haven't even been happening in many of these, in the Western world. Like, you see a game like Elden Ring, you see a game like Final Fantasy, and they just add in characters, and some of them are different races, and some of them aren't, and it just is what it is. And there's no tokenism or anything like that. It just simply is. So I think that this is something that's happening, and players and people out there are just kind of, I don't know, guys. How many of you guys get a little bit annoyed? And this is something I've tried to stop doing. I've tried to stop patronizing you guys by telling you that racism is bad, or telling you that, hating women is bad. Because most, like 99.999% of you know this. And I don't want to sit there and try to preach to you something, because, like, imagine, like, for example, if you go to PetSmart and you're selling dog food, and then the person at the cashier starts giving you a whole lecture on why it's bad to abuse your dog. Would that be offensive to you? Because it would be a little bit offensive to me. It would be. I would dislike that. Imagine using this, like, somebody says that about somebody's kid, right? Or something like that. It pissed me off. Yeah, imagine going to Toys R Us, and then at the end of the end of your shopping trip, they start going and telling you about how bad it is to abuse your kids. It's patronizing. It's accusatory. It's disgusting. And I think that average people find it to be just plain out insulting. And that's why I've stopped moving away from that, even though I do talk about the issues. Because I assume most people are normal people, and I'm never going to reach the people that actually believe that stupid shit to begin with, because you can't reason a person out of a position that they didn't reason themselves into. So I stopped doing that. And I think that I speak for a lot of people whenever I say that I don't want to have some game developer whose personality traits are the mental disorders that they have in their Twitter bio dictate morality to me. I don't want to hear it. I don't care what you think. Make a game and shut the fuck up. That's the facts. I think that, and you know what? I think that like 90% of people think this. They're fucking tired of it. They're tired of being patronized. They're tired of being talked down to. They're tired of being treated as if they are a bad person. Imagine this happens. So you have a company like Blizzard, and obviously they have a situation that happens. Let's talk about the situation that happens. And in the result, and in the wake of this situation, the players are the ones that are being punished. The players are the ones that have to sign a social contract whenever they log into World of Warcraft. I'm pretty sure that was supposed to be for your employees. What the fuck are we dealing with this? Most people don't act this way anyway. This has nothing to do with us. We're not the ones that had the sexual scandal. And the people in the game that were the bad ones that are actually causing this problem, we reported them. We already reported them. You just didn't ban them because you were too busy. So that's what I'm fucking pissed off about. We're being lectured. Yeah, we're being lectured as if we did what they did. They're pulling the Uno reverse card. And I think a lot of people are seeing right through their bullshit, and they're rightfully resenting it. That's right. It's like this slash spit thing. Yes, exactly. We're not the ones stealing breast milk. That's not what's happening. Or anything like this. Gaslighting us. I know. It's disgusting. Too busy doing sexual assault to respond to 20 reports. Yes. How many times have you guys seen girls in the community or known a girl in the community that's been harassed by someone at Blizzard, or not at Blizzard, sorry, in a Blizzard game, and Blizzard has done nothing about it? Because I know at least 5. Yeah, I know at least 5 on a personal level. And like, how is this even a thing? Yeah, every single one. A lot of them have had this happen. So, like, and we'll get to the social contract because all of these things do kind of fit together. But, like, we already agreed on the social contract. The problem is not the contract. The problem is the enforcement of the contract. Because if people actually got banned for doing bad stuff, this would not even be necessary. They don't get banned and nothing happens when their solution is to ignore the actual problem. Exactly. They don't do anything about people being harassed, period. It's not a girl issue. Yeah, you're right. It's like, so basically this is what happened to me a few days ago, right? I don't remember like what day it was. So I was playing, it was on Mother's Day, right? And somebody made a character like Happy Mother's Day, made another character like, you know, Dead Mother or something like that. And he like started sending me messages, right? So it was annoying to me. Like these kinds of things, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. These things don't really hurt my feelings. I don't really care about them because it's just words. Like if that person got hit by a bus tomorrow, I really wouldn't give a shit. So why would I care what they say if I don't even care about their life? You know what I mean? And it sounds like a very cold thing to say, but to be honest with you, they just mean nothing to me. So whenever I hear something like this, they're just being rude and that's it. So I report the person because they're spamming and it was annoying me. And so I report them and then they're gone. Well, then they make another account, or sorry, they make another character and they keep spamming me the same thing. Why is that possible? Why is that possible? Why is that possible? I completely understand that perspective. Yeah, exactly. And so this happens. Not you, that person. Did this happen? Yeah, it did. And you can probably check the VOD. It was whenever I was in Zereth Mortis, and I was doing Arena. I forgot which day it was, but it was one of those days. And you'll see it obviously pop up because I have to click the confirmation box to send a report. Yeah, again, IP banned on Twitch, but not a video game. That's sad. Did the guy get banned? Probably not. Probably not. But, like, imagine doing this. And it's just weird. What the fuck? Actual scumbag? Exactly. And so why was it that this person was able to make a new account or a new character and just immediately start messaging me the same thing again? Well, it's because Blizzard is not doing their job. Because, like, for every person that like, I mean, I've been on the internet for a long time, right? I know people are going to try to get under your skin. I don't really care about that. It is what it is. People are going to say what they're going to say. I don't like it, but it's not going to really catch me off guard or upset me or anything like that. It just is what it is. And so this happens, and you just have to accept this. But there are other people out there that don't want to accept this. There are other people out there that, you know, like maybe this affects them on a more emotional level. Maybe this makes them more unhappy. It just hurts their feelings, etc. And those people are now being harmed because of that. Typical example of people being envious of what you do, only way they can react, who cares about it? They're probably just trying to get a reaction. And the truth is, here's what it is. That would have never happened in Final Fantasy. Because that person, number one, would have been afraid to even message me that. Because they knew that they would just immediately get banned for doing that. Because if I reported them in Final Fantasy, their account would be yeeted and deleted. But the reason why I didn't even file a report with Blizzard, like a formal report after the second character, is because I knew nothing would happen. So there was another person, this was back, I don't know, a year ago, something like that, and this person every single day would spam me with the N-word. Like, the hard R, all caps, you know what I'm talking about, right? And he would spam this in like blocks of text, and I would report the character name, and then he would make a new character name, and he would do it again. And this went on for about a week or so. I tried putting the characters on my ignore list. My ignore list got full. He deleted the character, and then he remade it with the same name, so it took it off the ignore list. And this happened. I even posted a picture on Twitter about it, proving it. And it wasn't until I made that tweet that something, I think, happened. You see what I'm saying? How is this happening? Like, how is that? And the thing is, like, I don't view this as a fault of that individual. Because that individual, it's like whack-a-mole. If that person, if the N-word spamming Andy, let me explain why. He is a piece of shit, but at the end of the day, this person is able to do that. Because, like, let's say I ban him. Let's say I put him on ignore and he stops doing it. Let's say Blizzard gets rid of him. Oh, that's nice. Great. Well, what happens whenever the next one comes up? What happens whenever the one after that comes up? It's about the system. It's about the system and how they approach these things. Yeah, Blizzard enables the behavior. That's what it is. WoW did Twitter integration exactly for this. Tweet about it for them to get banned. I mean, if only that would work. There's an add-on you can block new characters from messaging you. It doesn't work in the same way. And probably have Blizzard employees that spam do that? Absolutely not. But I think it was just somebody who was an asshole. That's all there is to it. And we're not blocked. It is now. Apparently, we already sold out over half the merch. Holy fuck. Okay, yeah. So yeah, there you go, guys. I apparently just got a message about that. And so yeah, that was a lot faster than I would have expected. Holy fucking shit. Wow. So yeah, thank you guys very much. I appreciate it a lot. OTKnetwork.com, by the way. Fucking add-ons shouldn't have to exist for this. It's something Blizzard should do themselves. Here is what a company with any sense of self-respect would do. They would ban the person's account. Full stop. They would just ban their account. Like, there's no question about it. There's no like, oh, what about this or that or whatever. Why free speech? Well, because they're harassing somebody. And I think that basically people have the right to self-censor. They have the right to stop somebody else from harassing them. So, like, for example, I think that it's one thing to just be speaking out and saying things just out in the open. But it's another thing to, like, take your words and your language and direct it at one person individually. And whenever the person says, leave me alone, you say, no, I will not leave you alone. I will continue to harass you. That, in my opinion, is not free speech. That is not in the First Amendment or anything like that. That is clearly fucking harassment. And if you did this in any other walk of life, they could put a lawsuit against you for it. They could. It's just, that's not true. Like, it's just not true. At a point, yeah, it's the intention behind it. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just straight harassment. People don't understand that, and I don't know what it is. Speech has nothing to do with it. You can harass someone without saying a word to them? Well, sure, but you can see clearly what I mean, right? You get your ass kicked in real life? Probably not. Most people are not going to kick your ass in real life. They're just going to say, get away from me, asshole. I don't want to be around you. Like, they're not going to go and, like, try to beat you up over this. They're just like, oh, what, get the fuck away from me. Like, stop harassing me. Leave me alone. Yeah, nobody's going to, like, try to fight you over this. Yeah, I don't know, man. Let's go back over here, and we're going to look at the rest of this. And, developer satisfaction. However, the question does remain, how do we convert this feedback from collective desire into tangible reality? As expected, the people at King are already thinking a few moves ahead. In 2016, King began developing a method for guarding against unconscious bias and exclusion whenever it came to the creation of their game and characters. At this time, the idea existed as an intangible philosophy, but the cult potential was obvious. So you have, obviously, this is their example of, this is the new system. This is the new covenant, guys. So you have socioeconomic background, sexual orientation, gender identity, facial features, body type, physical ability, cognitive ability, age, race, and culture. So that's right. We can't have too many attractive people in the video game because maybe that's going to make people that are insecure unhappy. Yeah, so like I can understand. Look at McCree's name. Yeah, it's still there, obviously. Well, it's because, listen, guys. It's all performative. Let me ask you a question. This is a very simple question. Do you think they would do this if it would cause them to lose money? No. I don't think so. I don't think that they would. And I think that the individual people at the company would do that, but would the company take the action collectively? No, I don't think so. This is just something that they do in order to, basically what they're doing is they are monetizing and they are turning people's races and sexual orientations into ways to advertise themselves and sell more of their products. And this is common, very, very common nowadays, where you'll have brands that will take on causes and talk about causes that they feel aligns with their audience in order to further sell more of their products. And that's what it is. They're effectively using these social issues and these things as a marketing tool. And some people might ask, and this is some comment that I get a lot whenever I bring this up, is that isn't it still a good thing that they're talking about something good fundamentally, though? And I would argue and say no, it's not. Because whenever you have a company that is imbued, like enamored or integrated, like whatever you want to fucking call it, in sexual harassment lawsuits, in these other types of problems, etc., and then they start using these people as effectively a marketing tool to sell their product, I think that a lot of people, that devalues the idea of the diversity in the first place, because they see it and they look at it and they're obviously cynical about it. They obviously don't take it seriously, and I think through extension of that, they take the movement and they take those people less seriously because they think that it's just a marketing ploy and it's not real. And so what they're doing is they're taking a legitimate social issue or somebody's actual identity or something like that, using it as a marketing tool, and then cheapening the fact that it's an actual human experience that should be treated like, it should not be treated like a commodity. So yes, I do think that it's harmful. And I don't agree that it's something that's good, even though they're doing something bad. And this is actually what happened. And so I'll give you an example of this. This is what happened to somebody here at Blizzard. Is whenever, obviously, J. Allen Brack stepped down, and they had two people take the lead of Blizzard. They had Mike Ybarra and Jen O'Neill. And Insect Noises, thank you very much for the 5 good subs. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. So what happened with Jen O'Neill is this. She and Mike Ybarra collectively, because they were going to pay them, the Activision-Blizzard leadership were going to pay them different amounts. And this is, again, imagine in the very midst of this scandal, they were going to pay them different amounts. And she obviously went to them. She's like, I don't think this is fair. And Mike Ybarra went to them and he said, that's not fair. And you know what? They didn't do a fucking thing about it. Until later on, whenever she submitted her resignation, they said, wait a minute, oh, now we're going to give you what you want. So it's some kind of weird negotiation bullshit, right? So this happens, and on top of that, why do you think that they promoted her up to that position? Well, I'll tell you what she thought. She thought that they promoted her up to that position purely out of tokenism, because she was a woman, and I think that she happened to be like gay or like a bisexual or something like that. And I want you to think about how it must feel to somebody to have an over 20-year career that you've worked for in the industry be reduced down to your genitalia. To think to yourself, okay, I have spent so much time, honing my skills, learning to be better at what I'm doing, and then to be reduced down to that. And she fucking quit. Thank God. Yeah, thank God. I think, my affirmative action is more destructive than helpful. I think that, listen, there's a lot of nuance to that, and I'm not going to make some general statement. But what I'm going to say is that Blizzard clearly does this performatively. They do not actually believe this, and it's annoying. I find it funny. It's funny in a Watchmen comedian kind of way. Sure, absolutely. Society is blowing itself up and it's just a complete dumpster fire. Sure, you can make that argument, absolutely. But I think that, too, it's also stupid. It's disgusting. It's cynically hilarious, exactly. It's all performance for the cameras, not because they actually believe it. The irony is then by being such an anti-offensive extremist, they're actually being offensive. I agree. I actually think so too. I think there's a lot of people that they see stuff like this. I'm gonna take this off. I think I gotta take it off. Like, number one, it's hot, and number two, I'm pretty sure we probably sold out almost all of them. So I can't keep wearing it. Oh my god, it's so hot. I'm so hot. Wow. Yeah, you take it off. Yeah. Okay, there we go. It's nice to be loved more than your big day. Yeah, I'll put it right here. How about that, guys? I think that's good enough. Yeah, there we go. And all right, let's see how we're doing now. Isn't it like 96 degrees? I have no idea what temperature it is. I just know that it's fucking hot. I've thought about actually moving my streaming room downstairs because the insulation up here is very bad. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do that because I'm just so used to streaming up here, but it is something that I've considered. Anyway, so yeah, I feel like I don't want to. I don't want to move. I'll probably just get something else fixed instead. But yeah, anyway, so this happens, and this is what the actual company is doing. You've got to keep that in mind. Yeah, this is what the actual company is doing. It's not like some bullshit, and it pretty much got exposed way later on. Though there's purely aesthetic reasons, but behind the curtains, they'll employ toxic business practices to silence their employees and pay some random PR firm to squash all evidences. Well, I'll actually give you a great example of that. So you remember how a lot of the, recently Blizzard gave like a huge pay raise to a lot of their contractors and people that I think worked at, I think there's a place called Raven or something like that. Do you guys remember this? Yeah, do you guys remember this? Yeah. Well, guess what? This was the group of people that were trying to unionize against Blizzard. And all the people that were unionizing against Blizzard categorically did not get these benefits. That's cute. Yeah, that's really cute. Wow. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. Check Belluar's Twitter. Sure, I'll look at that in a few minutes. Actually, you know what? I'll look at it right now. Let's see what they're saying. Belluar Gaming. All right, almost opened up Belle Delphine. Okay, good. What's this here? Yeah, here we go. God, I swear our own company tries so hard to slaughter any goodwill the actual devs who make the game have built. Overwatch doesn't even use this creepy dystopian chart. Our writers have eyes. The artists have eyes. Producers. Yeah, and that's the thing, is like now each individual person, right, that's being added in here, it basically cheapens the addition of any sort of like character that's not like a white male. Because they know, everybody now is going to know, and this is what's going to happen, is that every character that gets added into the game that's not, you know, just like your typical person, like your typical white male, you know, video game John Souls Master Chief guy, is going to be looked at through the lens of this fucking chart. They're going to be looked at through that, and then that character is never going to be seen as a legitimate, authentic character. You know, it will never be seen as authentic again. So let's look at the rest of this. Enter the MIT lab. Okay, yeah. All right, here we go. Looking at all the ways basic elements such as gender, body type, roles, and even such granular factors such as pose or body movement can suggest powerful things about a character in one way or another. According to King Globalization Project manager, once MIT handed over the basic software, King spent the last 2 years honing and developing it, mostly as a volunteer effort. An important principle for us at King is all players should feel welcome. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Then ban the people that harass them. The idea of a tool to make characters more diverse and inclusive may seem a little hard to wrap your head around. That is true. It certainly does. In practice, it has to be more than just a pop-up reminder that between 2017 and 2021, nearly 80% of the highest-selling games in the world featured white male protagonists. It needs to become a part of the incubation process from the start, baked into the pipeline in an unmissable, consistent step. Yeah, it's like a Black Mirror episode. Well, here's what's white people is bad. I mean, clearly that's what it's at, and you can see obviously how they do this kind of stuff. Is that they're basically basing these things off of just different types of identity politics. That's what it is. How did Widowmaker pass through the chart? I have no idea. What percentage of game players are white though? Well, I don't know. I have no idea. I don't have the data on that. All I'm saying is that I think that more and more people are seeing things like this, and they're just saying no. That's it. They're just saying no. And I think that people say no by just buying other games that don't have this. Like, that's all there is to it. Because that's the best thing about the market, is that whenever you're being patronized by somebody who, again, has all of their fucking personality traits as mental disorders in their Twitter bio, and this person's saying this stuff to you, and they're trying to tell you that you're a bad person for not caring about what they care about, you can just say no. And you can just go somewhere else. You can say, you know what, this is weird. I don't want to do this. I'm gonna go watch something else. Because there are games all over the world now that aren't infected by this kind of stuff, that aren't trying to be, trying to monetize different people's social and social differences. And people can just play those instead. Yeah, they can just play those instead. And you know what the best part about it is? There's nothing they can do about it. There's nothing they can do about it. Because you know what? Money talks. And in making games and in business, it's the only voice that matters. I really mean this. If you feel like games like this, you don't like what these games are doing, don't buy them. Stop buying them. Because guess what? What do you think do you really think that the stockholders care about this? This is a publicly traded company. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, this is a publicly traded company. That's all there is to it. So the moment that these people, says the guy pre-ordering WoW, yeah, it's my job. Of course I'm going to do it. Yeah, absolutely, it's my job. Why would what do you think I'm going to do? Like, not do my job because of this? Of course. I'm never going to go and tell you guys, by the way, I'm never going to go and tell you guys, oh, you should quit your job because of your moral opinions about it. Yeah, gotcha, Andy. Play a different game? No, this is better for my job. I think that there is a certain amount of entitlement that people have. Maybe this is a small-minded person that obviously everybody here probably works for a company, or at least a lot of people here work for a company that's probably done a lot of bad stuff, right? They've done things that you would disagree with, etc. But you're still showing up to work because that's what you do for a job. That's what you're invested in. That's what you care about. That's what it comes down to. Yep, gotcha Andes. Yep, just permaban the gotcha Andes. I hate seeing them. I hate reading them. Anything like that, any gotchas, but what about this? Just immediate permaban. I don't want to hear it. They're always stupid, and they never bring up good points. So yeah, anyway, so this is the way that I look at it, is that these types of things are completely protestable. They are. And you'll see that. The way you explain things is therapeutic. That's when you don't like the chart, that obviously means you're racist, homophobic, misogynist. Exactly. And the thing is that, and this has become more and more the case, is that people just simply don't care what they're being called. Because at a certain point, whenever everybody is being called this for criticizing or questioning anything like this, it just doesn't matter anymore, right? There's no value to it anymore. And I think that people collectively are just tired of hearing this bullshit, and they just want to be able to play video games and not be preached to in a video game. That's all there is to it. The chart is a virtue checklist. That's exactly it. Yeah, exactly. Because words have lost all meaning from years ago. Tweet at King and ask them to change their name for consistency. Yeah, sure. Knowing them, they would probably change it to Queen and think that it's inclusive. So let's see here. Sharing and caring, yeah, whatever. What's this here? Working on Call of Duty Vanguard has left a sizable impression. We use diversity space tool to figure out what more diversity looks like across all of our characters in both campaigns. Campaign and multiplayer live sessions, and now we're going to use that data going forward into the next games that we're working on. Overwatch 2 team at Blizzard has also had the chance to experiment with the tool with equally enthusiastic first impressions. Well, I wonder why. Probably because if you don't have an enthusiastic first impression of this, you get fired because they're going to call you racist. Like, that's why. Of course they're all being enthusiastic. Yeah, like, what do you think? Like, what do you think that, like, you're not allowed to disagree with this kind of stuff? That's what it is, yeah. It's these people believe in diversity of everything except for thought. I like the one guy sitting in the photo. Oh, the one white guy? Oh, yeah, in the back. To be honest, I didn't even notice that. Beyond Gaming. Okay, here we go. Let's read the Beyond Gaming part. While the diversity space tool was designed for us to use in game character conceptation, Chomatis also sees this as having a broader application across all entertainment and media platforms. The traits and measures are applicable to a wider entertainment verticals, including TV, film, and literature. The only change required is if these verticals would use the baseline traits that need to be calibrated to be relevant to the genre and the universe each character exists in. It's designed to continuously evolve as norms shift and platforms change. In the end, you get out of it what you put into it. Well, that's certainly right. A lot of diversity advocates find this stupid too. Well, yeah, because you're compartmentalizing people's identity. And you're reducing their existence in the game to their identity. I think that's something that nobody would want to be treated that way. Like, yeah, of course not. I'm sure there's plenty of people that are not a fan of that. So, Blizzard released this, and people were not happy about it. Let's just say this. It came out, and the internet was not really surprised, but, you know, they were not happy. And so let's go back and we're going to take a look at the rest of this. Can you go over the chart metrics for Anna? Yeah, sure. Let's look at it. So Anna, let's look at Anna. So culture, and this is for Anna. She's the Anna Amari, age 60. She's a bounty hunter. Physical ability, she's one-eyed, slim and curvy, slightly aged, heterosexual, middle class. Okay, so culture is very high, race is very high, age, so yeah, she's old, so she gets a high ranking for the age. Cognitive ability, she's fucking dumb. Wow. Cognitive ability is really low while culture and race is really high. I see. This is a really great example. This is so smart. You know, how did this get through PR? How the fuck did this get through PR? Oh my god. Oh my god, that's not what that means? Let me see what it means. Cognitive ability is very low. Oh, I get it now. No, never mind. Yes, never mind. This means that it's not... The higher it is, the more, I think the word people use is neurodivergent, right? Like whether somebody's like autistic, they have like some form of, you know, like mental disorder or something like that. They're like schizophrenic. So, okay, never mind on that one. I read it wrong. Physical ability, relatively, I guess, kind of high. I don't know. Body type, a normal body type. Facial features and beauty. Okay, well, we've at least got one guy that works at Blizzard who likes MILFs. And gender identity, I don't even know what her gender identity is. Sexual orientation, socioeconomic background. Yeah, so that's basically it. So each person, why is Egyptian 7 DPS? I have no idea. And yeah, who likes being included? Yeah, what would your point scale be? Exactly, strong, independent woman. PR infested, there are 5 points for women and 0 for men. Well, right, yeah, I know, that's exactly right. Like, it's simple. Like, they don't want to have, like, they want to have more women and more diverse people that are not white in the games. That's clearly what they're trying to do. This is obvious because the charts reflect this. They even said right here that 80% being represented by a male, a white male, that they said this as a negative. So it seems very obvious that this is clearly what their goal is. It's obvious as fuck. Yes, it is obvious as fuck. But there's a whole fan base as white males? Well, I don't know if it is or not. I think there's plenty of black people that play video games by Blizzard too. But I think that if I was I don't know really what I would think if I was a minority. I have no idea. But to me, if I was a minority, here's how I think that I would feel. I would feel like this was probably performative, because there have been people that I know that are minorities that have been harassed in game, and Blizzard didn't do anything about it. You see what I mean? Like that's how I would feel. It's insulting. Yeah, exactly. What's this here? You're just a number? Yeah, it's like that happened to Nick. It happened to other people. I think that's what it is. What's this here? Did you complain playing Sekiro? Why are you talking about that? Okay, anyway, let me look and see this real quick. Do you think FromSoft did this for NPCs? It's negative context of wanting to diversify as much as I disagree with what they're doing. They're not saying being white and male is bad within the context. I think that's clearly the implication. It is, and I think anybody can see that. Like, it is, you know it, I know it, everybody knows it. Like, I'm not going to try to like, oh, well, this isn't really what they mean or whatever. It clearly is. So they reduced the character down to 10 attributes. Yeah, exactly. I'm trans and I agree this is over the top fucking stupid. Exactly. And so anyway, what I'm really trying to get at here with this kind of stuff is that I think that like a lot of people would probably see this, and if as I said, I cannot speak for somebody else. I have no idea, but I would probably be upset because whenever I see this, and then at the same time people are getting harassed in game and nothing happens about it. I mean, this is clearly being used as a promotional tool and not something that's authentic. Give me 1 second here. The pandering is annoying. Yeah, I think so. I think there's a lot of people that feel that way. Absolutely. They gave her socioeconomic background as 0. How is that not blatantly offensive? Well, what they mean by that is like socioeconomic background. What I'm implying is that the norm is in the middle And the higher ones are so like if you're really poor, it would be higher. And if you're, you know, just average middle class, it would be lower. That's kind of what I'm guessing, but I'm not sure. I don't know how they do the chart. They released it after a union-busting email leak, so it's just damage control again. Okay, so anyway, this got released to the public, and there were a lot of people like me and like a lot of you all who were not happy about this. So they came out and they made a second statement about it. So this was made by the Activision-Blizzard Twitter, okay? I didn't even know they had one of those. Following the community backlash regarding the diversity space tool revealed earlier today, Activision-Blizzard has issued a follow-up statement and edited their blog post to clarify the tool is not currently being used in active game development and has only been tested internally. Well, I thought they said was tested by developer teams and left a sizable impression. Okay, all right. Technically, what they're saying is true. We recently shared a blog post that raised questions on how we approach diversity in our games. While the prototype tool has been tested internally, it is not in active use. Our dev teams have always and will continue to drive in-game content. We have updated the blog post to clarify the purpose of this tool, which is one small component for our broader DE&I, I don't know what, diversity, I'm assuming, I don't know what, diversity, equality, and inclusion efforts. Yeah, there we go. It's what it must be. And it must be intended as a replacement for more diverse perspectives. We regret any offense that the original post must have caused. So they basically came out and they apologized for it. Somewhat predictably, the original post was met by a great deal of derision and accusation from a public audience already skeptical due to Activision-Blizzard's recent line of controversies. Fans and the industry professionals alike commented that the concept felt performative at best and at worst further promoted tokenization, with complaints backed by example images which appeared to reduce elements of diversity down to simple numbers, seeming arbitrarily considering one character more cultural or sexually oriented than the other. Well, that's right. Absolutely. Why were they doing this? Just make games and stop bringing up this kind of things? Blizzard's not what they were. Well, and this is what I think a lot of people think, and I see this more and more and more over time, is that there's a lot of people out there who they don't give a fuck about any of this stuff. They just want to play a video game. They have to deal with this at work all day. They want to come home and play a video game and not see something that clearly got added because of some sort of like political initiative or something like that. And they don't really care about like you trying to turn it around on them and calling them a racist for not liking it. They just simply won't consume the product. They don't want to deal with that. And I think that there are more and more of those people every single day. And that's why this kind of stuff happens. What kind of character would spit out this chart if they all had max stats? I don't want to know. Yeah, I have no idea. That's the culture today. More concerned about identity politics actually doing their job. But it's not the culture, and that's what I'm saying. Is that most people don't, like, they don't want to hear this. They don't want to have Blizzard come out with a chart and explain how not racist they are. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, they don't want to come out, like, they don't want to come out and, like, hear this shit. They just want to play the game and that's it. Anything more than that, it's fine. It's like you think about a lot of the companies that are really well liked, you know, people like From Software, etc. A lot of these companies never fucking say anything. Yeah, they never say anything about any of these issues. They just make games. And you know why I think this is a good thing? You want to know really why? Is that these people make video games for a living. Why are you even talking about something that is not your area of expertise? You don't understand this stuff. Shut the fuck up and let people that actually understand it talk about it. This is what I did with COVID. I never talked about COVID. You know why? Because I got a C in chemistry. And it's not because I was stupid. It's because I didn't care. So why am I going to go around and start, like telling you guys, hey, this is what you should do. You should wear a mask. You should do this. Take the vaccine. Fucking like social distance. Do all this stuff. I don't fucking know. So what I did is I did what I consider to be the responsible thing. I took a step back from the situation and I let the people who were informed about it, or at least, you know, like thought they were informed about it, talk about it instead. That's it. I let the people that know what they're talking about talk about this, and that's it. There's no C in biology. It's pretty stupid. It's kind of charts. Yeah, of course, absolutely. Blizzard hired someone for this? Of course they did. This is where your sub money is going. Update, blog post, all comes note from the editor, reiterating the posts. And so this is, holy shit, I'm not going to read this whole thing. Oh my god. Wow. Okay, yeah, that's crazy. Can't wait for this to be used in schools to grade pupils. Yeah, I mean, I think that's a bit of a stretch. I mean, we'll cross that bridge whenever we get to it. But in general, I think this is what it is. And shut the fuck up, let me do my job. Yeah, there you go. Instead of making more casual evergreen content, I'd like more dungeons and raids. Well, that's too bad. Best they can do is a diversity chart. Yep, that's best they can do. Sorry, guys. Blizzard's so out of touch, it's insane. Blizzard is not out of touch. It's just that they are... I feel like there are people at Blizzard that just can't stand to go an entire week without patting themselves on the back for how much they care about minorities. Because they have to say something about it. And it's like, just stop. Just stop talking about this. It's just a bad idea. Just fucking stop. Like, you've had all this bad stuff happen. Like, your company's reputation is ruined. You know how Blizzard actually wants to repair their reputation? Shut the fuck up and make games. Do that for 3 years, and then maybe we'll be ready to hear another political statement. But until then, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to fucking hear, I don't want to get moralized to by somebody who couldn't keep the breast milk safe at their own company. Shut the fuck up. That's the way I feel about it. We have too many people on the chart? Yeah, sure. People need to go to advocacy and activist jobs. Wrong field here? Well, they are. They're going into somewhere else and they're being activists there instead. That's what it is. You're right about this. The company's bringing this political stuff into the game. I just don't care about that anymore. Exactly. It's tiring. Yeah. People, it's the same thing I said about Marvel movies. Remember when I said that some guys just want to come home? They don't want a movie to be mentally stimulating. They just want to watch Hulk smash. And there's a lot of people like that. There's a lot of people like that. Yeah, they've been mentally and intellectually stimulated all fucking day. They're here to relax and just watch a movie that's simple. And that's it. Yeah, just watch action movies. That's it. It's not actual activism. It's a company trying to better their image. That's all. I agree with that. I definitely do. Holy shit, man. Imagine how it feels, people outside the American sphere influence getting this stuff pushed on us. Well, I mean, just don't consume it. This is my main point with all of this, right? Like, you know, let's go back to the original here. Is the whole thing about this is that if you don't like this, then stop consuming content about it. Stop buying the games. That's what it is. Yeah, just stop buying the games. If this makes them money, wouldn't it indicate it's actually popular opinion? Well, I think that it's not, because if it was going to make them money, they wouldn't have put out a post trying to do damage control. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, just stop buying it. Like, that's it. Because I used the 2016 Ghostbusters movie, right? This movie came out, it's all women, and the movie completely fucking bombed. People fucking hated it. Nobody watched it. Everybody said it was terrible. And all of the powers that be told, you know, all the audience, like, oh, you're so bad, you hate women, you're racist, and this kind of stuff. And it just didn't matter. Yeah, it just didn't matter. It made no difference. Yeah, I've heard this before. I've said it before. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and then after that, they made a new one, and it had the same people in it. It's the same kind of stuff. Yeah, the latest remake was good, exactly. And that's an example of them trying to push through some bullshit, and people saying no, and then that was the last time you ever heard about that. Yeah, if they made the money, they wouldn't lose 160 million players less than. Yeah, exactly. And point, it's not about money, it's about this ideology. No, it's not. So whenever you're a publicly traded company, it's about money. So what do you think would happen, for example, if Blizzard did something like this and then the stockholders lost half of their value? What do you think would happen? Yeah, what do you think would happen? They'd be gone. They'd be gone. That would be it. It would be done. Yeah, they would just stop. Yeah, they'd be removed, and then the people that didn't think like that would be put in instead. because people don't, like, the people whose 401ks and the people whose investments are in Blizzard don't care about any of this. They just want to see their 100 turn into a 115. They just want to see the number go up. And anytime that you overcomplicate things, basically, as soon as you turn the numbers into letters, you've already lost them because they don't give a shit about it. Number go up. Yep, there it is. Number go up. Let's go. Get the numbers up. Like happened on Netflix, they just brought out a new corporate culture that pretty much says fuck off woke employees. I saw that, yeah. And Netflix has lost a lot of their fucking like market share, basically. But I think there's a lot of reasons for that. I don't think it's because, oh wow, Netflix went woke and this is why. No, Netflix, there's a lot of other reasons for that too. Yeah, absolutely. I've been told I'm part of the problem because I believe in self-defense. People are going nuts in the world. Well, there's always going to be people that are crazy, but it's a matter of how important those people are. I think that's all it comes down to. Netflix is firing woke employees. Yeah. Why do you think that is? It's because Netflix is losing money. They're losing money. So it doesn't, like, all of these things, all of these ideas, they're just ideas. Money is what matters. That's the only thing that makes a difference. Everything else is completely fucking irrelevant. That's what I think about it.